Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. This is a 403-page book with 24 chapters and is best described as a young adult, dark fantasy novel, kind of Game of Thrones light with Jason Bourne chase elements, all wrapped in time travel. So if time travel is not your thing, avoid this book. It is very central to the story. I think it was decently done. I didn't think too hard about the time travel, and I enjoyed it. There was lots of details. I had some questions, but I didn't let it get in the way of the story. So, female author, female lead, great book, 16-year-old. She's coming of age. She's learning how she fits in with the world. Parents passed away. She's living with her grandmother in London and her cousins. So they're kind of quirky, kind of strange, and she's got all these odd experiences growing up, and she knows that she has the ability to hide objects like a small coin or some food or something. So she knows there's something unusual about her, but she doesn't know what it is, and her grandmother keeps saying monster. So when she dresses up as a kid, she's like, I want to be this for Halloween, and the grandmother's like, no, you're a monster. And as this goes about, she really discovers that she is a monster, and she looks exactly like a human. There's no distinguishing marks. It's all internal. And the ability that they had, that all monsters have, is that they can steal time in some age from the end of the life of a human. They did say that you could potentially take from other monsters, but it wasn't made clear. It was just kind of implied. And so it's the end of their life, so if you take a little bit, they won't notice. So they go to these public locations and grab, a few days from each person, and then they use that to time travel. So that's the key. What ends up happening is she has this summer job at this big London house, and it is a historical site where they help restore and clean and give tours, all that stuff. And she stumbles upon a mystery. There's this huge event and a big monster showdown between two families. There's these 12 families of London of monsters. And it really is about the differences and how similar and different everybody is, but each family has their own thing and they don't always get along. So there is a king of the monsters, there's a monster court, and then there's the primary 12 families. So there is a hero, a prophecy, the chosen one. There's a chosen one for the monsters, and there's a chosen one for the humans. A hero who will travel back in time and get rid of the first monster, and thus eradicating all of the monsters. So that's the myth. It was a children's story in their universe that they told their kids. So I liked it. It was fast-paced. There was never any part where I was like, I need to stop reading this. It just flowed. It moved. It was quick, fast-paced. Chapter length was good. And I really discovered this by accident. I saw the sequel. I think this is supposed to be a trilogy, but only the first two books are available. I saw the sequel in a bookstore, and I was like, I gotta check it out. So I did buy this new as an impulse thing, but I'm big on used books just so they stay out of landfills and all that good stuff. And it can save you some money, too. But anyways, I really enjoyed this book. It wrapped up really nicely. There is more, but I think this stands alone as a really great novel. Some of the things I really liked, and some of them that I didn't, are really the cost. I feel like every magic story is, hey, wave a wand, say a few words, and you get instant magic powers. There is that family ability that doesn't require any cost. But the time travel itself, you literally have to be in physical contact with a human. You touch the back of their neck, and you do the process. You have to imagine it, and that happens. But you're taking from a human, so it's not just like free time travel. You can't just be like, I'm gonna go 1960. Here we go. Like, there's some effort involved, and so the showdown happens at the house, and that's the huge conflict. Her family gets killed, and she is on a mission to escape and hopefully, time travel and prevent it, warn them somehow, fix it. That's the whole goal of the book. And this really is a dark young adult fantasy, and I've never experienced so much in a young adult. Like, there is torture, there's killing, you know, the main character experiences a close family member right in front of them, you know, passing away. It's just like, there was a lot to it. So if you are a young adult looking to read this, you're probably going to want to get your hands on it. If you're an adult with a young adult, you might want to be careful before giving them this book. Wonderful book, great themes, you know, the perspective of the monster, right? The quote unquote villain. I think they used the word monster like a bazillion times in this book. It was every other page, but the concept, the theme was very powerful, that they're not the hero of the story. The main character, Joan, which is a very interesting name. I really liked that choice for the main character's name. Nobody names their main character Joan. Cool name. And it just really hit home because it wasn't the same coming of age fantasy novel. It was very, very unique perspective. There's romance in this. The main character falls for the hero, and chaos ensues. So don't wanna do much more than that. You know, the anti-hero monster. It was great perspective. Really liked the family powers. The Lus were my favorite. The perfect memory, that was super cool. The marketplace for ill-gotten goods, right? You can't have a cell phone in medieval times, so I liked that there was like a marketplace. And the inns, really, here there may be monsters. Great idea, perfect. The melting pot. This was just chock full of great ideas, fun concepts. It was a blast to read. Some things I didn't like: time travel logic. It just, you know, time travel, you either accept it or you don't. There were so many questions I had that, like, what happens when this? But like, you can't let that get in the way of you reading the story, otherwise it'll just, you know, completely derail it. Lots of fun. There wasn't a whole ton of detail, which I thought actually helped. You know, you just kind of had to fill in the blanks yourself and go with it, and that to me helped the story go along. It didn't make me sit there and think about, well, what about this? So, but yeah, you know, the time travel logic didn't really fully click with me, but it was good. It was fun. The chosen one, right? There's a chosen one for the hero and the chosen one for the monster. Didn't really like that part, but it was good. It fit in with the story. It just wasn't my thing. And London, I feel like if I was a monster and I didn't want to be discovered or hunted down, I wouldn't be going to, you know, one of the largest cities in the world. I mean, I guess it's easier to be anonymous there, but I feel like I would stay in like smaller towns. You know, I wouldn't run into, you know, myself or somebody I knew in the past as often. I don't know, differences, but you know, it's set in London. Very unique book. Great fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue. I think I'll at least wait until the third book is out before I keep going. But it set the stage for future conflicts. But I really, really enjoyed the character development, the group of not heroes, the group of monsters, the adventure that they went on, and the things that they discovered. It kept me enthralled. It kept me turning the pages, and this was a lot of fun. So, as always, remember to buy your books used or digital.